Hi everyone. Uh, this is exciting. I missed a lot of the jam because I was putting kids to bed. So hopefully you all did something super impressive, and this is a good follow up. Yeah, I just trying to get my head around. There's a couple of firsts here. Um, it's obviously my first doing a live stream about Tana, but it's also my first doing a live stream in general. So that's exciting. So hopefully this won't go too bad. As you can see, you probably can't see. Let's see here. Yeah, Daniel, that's the horrible thing about being on the waiting list, and uh, hopefully it just gets you fired up so that once you get access, you'll know exactly where you're going to start. So I'm just going to expand this for now. So what we're going to do today is just walk through from start to finish, just building a simple CRM that's close to the one I'm using today. It's probably going to be a bit simpler, but my main focus today is just kind of doing a build along slash like how do we go from having a blank screen. This is basically this is the workspace that we'll be working in. It's there's no schema. There's nothing here. This is basically just a blank screen that we're going to build up until we can actually work as a sales pipeline slash customer relationship management inside here. At least the way that I work in it. So let's expand all. I'm going to be working through this before we start. This is just the workflow and the kind of system that I'll try to build up. Let's see. Right. So I don't know how many of you guys are in sales. I don't know how many of you have customer relationship tasks. Maybe you're just excited about seeing something being done in Tana, which is absolutely fine. But for me, kind of quick backstory: when I'm not managing my children's podcast, which happens here. Let's see. I've shown this before. This is kind of my main management system for the children's podcast. But when I'm not doing this and having actual, free time, I work in sales and IT, so a consultancy. So for us, finding projects, there's no kind of set product. It's all about creating alongside the customers a project that we were going to sell, and then yeah, moving that through the pipe until we have sign off and can start working. So outside of the kind of sales pipeline slash sales and pre-sales CRM that I'm building now, there's huge potential for doing the actual projects inside here and linking all that sales information back into the projects once they've started up. Unfortunately for you, and maybe fortunately for the time frame of this video, I'm not really a project manager. I wouldn't know where to start to make that a good kind of system. My hope is that maybe later I can invite some more people into this workflow library that I'm trying to construct so that we can kind of build up this system together. That would be really fun. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to show one more thing before we get started. Let me know when you want me to actually do some work. But I just started working today on a workout tracker that is going to scale out into being a full kind of workout system. So basically, whenever I go to the gym, I don't have to fill in any name for the node. I'll say this was a bench day. It goes into my bench day list. The title is changed by date and everything, and it ends up inside here. And then we can say something about the form of the day. We walk through like the reps and sets. Let's say this is 200 kilos times 20. I will say that I can't really add a description to this. This is weird. Oh, there you go. Too light for me. Shrug. Anyways, so this is going to be fun to kind of play around with. I'll do some more on this later. So let's get to our actual plan. I'm just going to start building. If you have any questions, just jump in and ask. And if you have any suggestions, that's even better, because I think Tana is, it's going to be great in the beginning time now, because we're all newbies. So we can just explore how to do this best together, which is a lot of fun. Yeah, absolutely. It's super impressive. EV as well. Just watching the systems that people are building up inside inside Tana just blows my mind. So this is not going to be as advanced as that, luckily for all of us. Let's see. Okay, so our workflow that we're going to try and make room for inside Tana. We start with lead generation. So we basically need, like, when we have an idea for a project, we can have a lead tag to dump all our ideas in there, and then kind of with fields fill in which company this is, and more stuff like this. We're going to have a system of we're going to qualify these leads, and as they move into later stages, we're going to move them into a sales pipeline with like prospects, qualifying the prospects, finding kind of the structure of the project, and moving them through to won and lost. And we'll have like I've shown in an earlier video, we're going to have like quarterly forecasts for sales based on the value of the deals that we can update live. And then we're going to have a meetings system, just kind of standard stuff. And we're going to we're going to build everything up, like the to-do system, all the lead tasks, etc. So I'm just going to make this into a tabs view, so it's a bit easier to work through. So to build this up, we're going to first start just creating a couple of tags, because we need the tags to kind of build these interlinked kind of fields below. So we're just going to start building them out. Hi, Jeff. Yeah, everyone's here. See, I'm going to make sure I have my chat in front of me so I don't miss anything. There we go. Okay. So I think the thing I find most pleasant about working in Tana is just kind of this part of just playing around and creating tags and systems is just a really fast and easy process. Let's see, what do we have down here? The tasks. We need the leads. And we need review, and we need review entry. This is I'm stealing Jens Christian's system for reviews because I love it. Okay, first things first, we're going to make some color codes so that it's easier to follow along here, because I might not be the quickest at going through everything and explaining what I'm doing. But again, I'll be quick at answering questions. The thing I liked about the jam session is that just doing it like this, in a Zoom meeting, makes it very collaborative. The reason I'm not doing it, and maybe that would be the best way to go about it in retrospect, is that I wanted to record everything so that I could kind of post this on the channel in a shortened down version and make it into actually useful short form content. Yeah, I'm going a bit random about this. Let's say lead and deal can be similar, that's fine. I've mentioned this to the team that I wish there were more colors, and if you didn't know, there are more colors. You can find a lot more colors than the ones that are here right now. What you need to do is basically you have to pull up the reference of the actual the actual super tag. And then you can configure it legacy. And then inside the color here, you can kind of choose these or just enter the hex code yourself. There's a lot more here. Santi, no, there's no real reason except that I'm going to be working as we do this. I want to make some searches and make sure that everything is working here. You could absolutely just make these straight into this schemas, but it wouldn't. Like, these are the placeholders. So these will come up in the searches. These are the nodes that will come up as we work along here. All right. So person, this is again my system. Please feel free to comment how you would do it better, because that would really be helpful. Let's see. So this is an instance of company, and that pulls up company. Now we know this works. The owner of this is, no, we need to find the current user. So that once we set up a new node, this will populate automatically. And then, right, so to find these, we have to go a bit back, because we're going to set up some searches now that find meetings with this person and which deals is this person a stakeholder in, so that we can find these by anytime we go into a person. So that means we're going to have to go down to meeting for a bit and just set up attendees. I was in Obsidian main, and then I did a lot of stuff in Notion. But before I found Tana, I mainly used this workspace, my workspace, for long form fiction writing. So I tried to make some kind of CRM systems, but without the automation, it was kind of a dead notebook. If anyone's tried the Remarkable tablet, our boss had the idea of basically using these in meetings so that you could write down the notes instead of having the screen in front of you. And I think that's the way a lot of people are going now. You know, you want to go away from having like the screen and typing all the time. But for me, those are dead notes. Like, as long as it doesn't automatically go into the right place, it's just a dead note. It doesn't do anything. And Obsidian was a step in the right direction for me, but it still didn't really do that. The only great thing was the today note, so I can, as long as I knew the date, or set up like tags and interlink systems, I could find it. It's just a lot better, in Tana. Theo, there's I found those keywords, current user ref, etc., through nagging at the Tana team. That's how I found them. Basically, just DMing them all the time with questions and asking in the Slack channel. However, I think there is, if you go to the help screen, let's just do it right now. If you go here, reference material, auto initialization of fields, you'll find like the references that you need. There's a big kind of table of different references. They're not all, I don't know if they're all in use, but at least that's a place to start. All right. So yeah, this is now an instance of person. Great. So now we can find nodes with tag meeting with field attendees equals equals this person. All right, we'll sort this out. So if this was a new person, let's say person 2, it's not going to find it, right? So what we need to say is attendees, delete that, and just say parent. Running it now, find, yeah, this one here. Great. So let's call this past and upcoming meetings. We have that, and just to make this a bit more useful, call this a table, save for everyone, and we'll have a field. We'll add the fields as we fill in the meeting tab. But I'm imagining this as a table, a useful table. All right, the second thing we want to find per person is which deals are they a stakeholder of. So we're going to go down to deal and just find the stakeholders. So go here. Instance of person. Let's see. Santi, long form writing. So I've been trying to use Tana for script writing, Santi. I'm gonna just pop back in here for a second. And I use this. This is like, it has some naughty features that I'm not allowed to show because there's some actual calculations going on here behind the scenes. Hush, hush. It doesn't exist in Tana yet. But basically, I make, like, I sort my ideas in here and make new ideas, like Santi's great, what's it called, blog posts? Yeah, blog posts. And that's an original. And then basically inside here, I rank this one as should we be working on this? Does it take time? No, no time at all. Does it have an impact? Yeah, great impact. So basically sorting this brings that to the top of my rank. This is just like playing around, but inside the script writing space, these same nodes, adaptation and original, extend a concept super tag that gives both of them, like, these are the things you need to sort them in ranked, and this is just like adaptations get this concept type automatically for sorting, but inside the actual node, I've basically set up some prompting systems to prompt me to put stuff inside Dan Harmon's kind of story circle. If you know the hero's journey stuff, I put it inside here just to know, like, Robin Hood, this is his state when he starts, this is what he needs, so he goes on a journey, just basically structuring stuff. And then after that, I go into like drafting everything up and outlining it here in, trying to. And I'm going to show you just one thing here. So this is me outlining a script with some experiments of tagging places and characters inside the writing space, and then using those kind of character tags to annotate lines. So like maybe the smart thing to do here would be to basically indent this, but it doesn't work because this is the reference. So now I've just indented his line inside here. But anyways, everything I do in here, all my tags end up in my library, which I made to automatically, excuse me, I'm just going everywhere here. It just basically searches for character places and props, and just inside the grandparent descendants with refs. So anything that appears like as props, characters, and places are just limited to this kind of specific script. So if I have 30 scripts here, it will still limit down what characters are shown in each script. Yeah. So sorry for that kind of long detour, but yeah, trying to do long form writing in that form. But to be honest, answering your question, I use docs. I structure everything in Tana and then I go to docs and just write it out. I don't use Obsidian anymore. Right, so where were we? Yeah, so we said stakeholders. We now have 2 person tags. Let's see if this works here. Deal, field, stakeholders. And we're going to go in here and just write parent. Now this should find only the deals that have a parent. Great. This is going to be a table. And then we're going to fill this in a second. Hi, Olaf Sindra. I haven't said anything secret to the chat at all. Let's see here. So yeah, so that's kind of our person. We're going to close that up. We're going to go to company, start filling this in. Assume I'll do this really quickly. He said, and then couldn't write. This is going to be instance of person again, so that we can find person here, and then owner field is already set up, right? And then after that, we're just going to find deals for company, which means we need company field down here. Maybe we should just make this yeah, let's just use the company for there as well. So we'll delete this one and then just find, no, move out of trash. Oh yeah, so now okay, now, no, what's going on? What did I do wrong? So instead, okay, now this is called company. Oh, I get it, yeah. So we're gonna go back into person. Have I just done this inside the node? God, that's absolutely silly. Sorry, guys. I think I've been so focused on having a good time with you, I've just completely shit the bed here. Why didn't you all tell me? All right, all right. So closing this, opening this, people in here, owner here, they should find me automatically. Let's just double check. Yes. And meeting as well. Yeah, if for someone who's new to Tana, what I did wrong here is that I was just adding stuff to this specific node. I need obviously to be adding stuff inside the schema stuff. Okay, so we're back in business. Yeah, as you can see, this is happening live. Nothing is hidden. All right, wait. So, company, we're going to find the deals for company, which means in here, we're going to reference the company field, which finds companies, which means we can go to meetings and we can say, and then inside here, we're just going to set this to parent. Marius. Come on, K makes super tag based on content. I think, are you asking whether like my workflow here should find, I'm not quite sure. And also I've, yeah, I'm absolutely lost in my own mind here. Give us a second, people. So just starting fresh. This will find companies, great. And then we can call this deals for company. All right. And obviously we have to do it here because that's what matters. And now I wouldn't say it's a, well, it's a waste in the sense that I could copy it, like these are just stakeholders. If I hadn't copied it over, it wouldn't be applied to new nodes with those tags. But yeah, it's not a waste outside of that. Let's see, so meetings also needs company. And now, and again, we have to work in the right place. So company, and now if we go to company, we can find I don't use Notion. No, I honestly don't see what it would give me. Like my Notion workflow, I explained this on Twitter yesterday. Let's say I was going to make this big like add to list, my list of episodes for my podcast. This would be a matter of like building out this setup, like, and I did this. I have this. I can show you this. Like this setup, everything I think I might need, like all the different columns for every episode, and then I would start filling it out. Like this just grew. I just started making a super tag called Adventure, which is then extended into Adventure means story, extended into seasons, and then I just started kind of expanding that as the need took me. And these things are just contextual notes. Like these aren't a part of the super tag. These are just a part of this table. Because one level up, I take like an exactly similar search, but I add some other contextual notes so that I can keep track of other stuff with the same super tags. Like this stuff, it might be possible in Notion as well. I have no idea how you would do it. It just doesn't feel like a good workflow at all. So I don't use Notion. Notion is dead. It's all about Tana now. You got to keep with the times. Okay. And now I know I have some cleanup to do after this. I just realized, but I'm gonna let you guys guess what that is going to be. So let's move into meeting again. Leave company for now. And then inside meeting, we're going to add some more stuff. So we're going to have a date field. And we're going to configure this to a date. And then the initial expression is going to be current date ref. This should give us today. Great. So that's fine. We're going to move this to the schema so we have it everywhere. And then we're going to add a time field. And we could have created time. It's probably easier, right? You could just have a created time and that'll show you up. Yeah. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to make this myself so we can easier configure this. Because we're going to go here and then we're going to have anything as field. Could possibly have date. Let's have date. Let's see what happens. And here in the initialized expression, we're going to have format date. Then we're going to find time as created, and this is there's a kind of there's a table. I can't remember where it is of accepted like formula for how stuff should look. This just gives me 24-hour 4-digit time, and I use this because sometimes I make the title of meetings with a time automatically attached when I want to track what I'm doing in a day, and separating these two out just gives me a way to do that very simply. So we have date time, we have attendees, we'll add owner, we'll add deal and configure this. Define an instance of deal. Santa, do you think Tana is harder to learn than Rome, Obsidian, Notion? What do you think yourself? It wasn't for me. This feels extremely like pleasant for me. It always did. But I'm really curious as to what you'd say. Company, all right. Okay, so moving on to deal. So this first part does take a bit of time, but as long as we've worked through it, it will give us a heck of a lot of an easier time once we're on the next stage of building our CRM. So inside the deal tab, we can just bring the stakeholder in, remove person, add person. We can bring the company in and remove company. Just add company back here. And then what more do we need? Yeah. Need an owner field. Need an estimated close date. Set data type to date. We need a confidence level. Make it static. Fixed options, and we're just going to make a silly little scale of 1 to 3 confidence level here. I'm going to lock these so we don't mess around with them when we're selecting them. Right, so that's our confidence level, works fine. We have estimated close, and then we have the deal stages. Theo, I think they're working on a document view, so you can have headlines and everything. There's ways to make it already with CSS. I think Jens Christian already made that for us. But I think they are working on a document view, and I'm as excited as you are looking at it. It's going to be really interesting. Let's see. We'll make this fixed options, and for this, I'm just going to copy these in. I am going to copy these in. That's not what I wanted. Okay, so now we lock them. Okay, so now I can't mess them up. Great. Yeah, maybe it does seem confusing, Santi. I think there's a great opportunity when it comes to onboarding for basically kind of like an intro level to computer game, guiding the user through like setting up something like I'm doing now, but nothing as this complex, like just a to-do list. Just as you open it, you kind of, maybe in a limited screen, you make the to-do list like a standard to-do list, and this kind of teaches you in action how to set stuff up, and the stuff that you've made is actually after that a part of your workspace. I talked with Olav Sindre about this. I think that's a really cool kind of way to learn. That might give you some of, like, if you're new to these types of systems, that might be the best way to go about it. Just like a tutorial level kind of gameplay, where your powers are kind of unlocked as you move through them. I think that'll do a lot to kind of get people in. Right now, when you get access, you have access to everything, and there's so much that you can do that might be a bit scary to people who are not used to this. Yeah, Theo, the fact that it stays in the quick capture is just, I saw that today as well. I don't really use quick capture, I probably should. Santi, Jens Christian shared it. I think it's in workflows. I can find it in Slack and send it to you later. Okay, so moving forwards, gotta keep the speed up. Like, if you have to leave, I understand this is taking a bit longer than it probably should, but I'm having a lot of fun. that's this automatically suggesting parent. This is what I tried to do earlier, but it didn't come up. Anyways, so these are the meetings for this deal. You need these to pop up, right? And we'll add these after. Great, and then activity for deal. And we're gonna quickly go to task and add the deal field and add the lead field. And as tasks, we also need an owner field. Let's just do this. And we need a status field. And we'll fill this one in. Fixed options of doing, to do, done. Okay. So now we can find nodes with the tag tasks that also have deal, right? Yeah, the deal parent. And now if we just go to this task, I'll set this to deal. And if we go to deal, it'll find this task. Great. So anything, any questions, anything that's boring or interesting, just let me know. I am going to be building this, so as you see, it takes a bit of time. All right, so we're at task. We already made this. We made the status. We made deal, finds deal, lead finds lead, etc. Now we're going to find lead. Going to lead, and inside lead, we need company, we need actions, we need owner, yeah, so let's see, did we add that to meetings yet? Do we have lead? Right, let's add lead as well. And meetings for lead. And then yeah, Santi, I think that's going to be a major part of like the marketplace on Tana. I think if, for instance, this workflow library, if I could build this into being like a complete setup, so you could just, this could be like the CRM workplace, and it'll just be like an empty template workplace, and then you can go to the market and just get this workplace empty, duplicate it into your workflow, and just start filling it out. That might be useful. I don't think it's useful right now because I think people need to build it themselves. But yeah, I think that's going to be very useful. So we have deal, we have task, built out lead. All right, final two, stolen from Jens Christian, the review stuff. I don't know if you saw his post in Workflows, but this is super cool. It's basically like a setup for stuff inside your workspace that you want someone else to look at. So I really, really like this, and therefore I'm going to steal it. So let's say fixed options. These are to review. We'll lock these. Great. Review state, and then this is a user. Yeah, we can do it this way. Let's use a user. Let's do reviews, configure to find an instances of review entries. Okay, cool. And then inside review entry, having to set this up as well, we'll have owner, date, time. Since these are already set up, they magically just work, which is great. And then we're just gonna set up a quick build title from fields so that it's the review entry is by me. No, this is the name of the review entry. Great. And then the owner. Yeah, who did it at what time, what date. So just like this. Review entry, Braga, time, date. Great. Okay, those are all the tags set up. We can now actually start building the CRM views. Let's see what Odin says. Yeah, Odin, lead needs to be disconnected because a lead is not a person in this case. A person is a person that can be inside a lead, and you need, like, imagine a lead is like a sprout. It's something that might become like a sale later, but it's not yet a deal. We need to keep them separate because we want to be able to kind of have one workflow for these leads, and once they start, like, we start working on them, an actual like sales process. We want that to be a focused effort, so we transfer them over. Like I've tried to have deal be an extension of, like, lead be an extension of deal, and project having kind of like the same, being an extension of each other, because deals lead into project, etc. But there's some real value in having these separate, basically. Okay, in my experience, but if someone finds a better workflow for this, I'm always open to see that. Okay, so we've made these beautiful nodes. Let's just find them again. This is so some things are filled in automatically. This one needs to be corrected, right? Perfect. Great. Tana, and yeah, we need to set this up as well. Delete this. People. Great. They should disappear, right? Yeah. Great. Great stuff. Meetings for deal. Nothing. Okay, so we configure this. We need one more thing here. It needs to be a checkbox. Here we go. So task, deal, it's this deal. Let's make this deal called the Tana sale. And then the lead is, yeah, this is the lead that I was working out from. Okay, so let's just make this first. So Tana needs developers. Great, so the lead that led into this, that is related to this. This here, status, I'm doing this right now. Find devs. Great, meetings, nothing so far. Activity, great. So if we go back to meeting, we can now set the time cell. Great, these are all interconnected. My biggest mistake, before there was a great workflow for before things were automatically taken out of searches, so that nodes didn't live natively inside searches. I had these massive tables that were kind of mixes of queries and searches and native nodes, which meant that I couldn't do all the things that you should be able to do with them. And that was all across my setup. I had loads of these huge tables. Some of them had like this one has over 100 entries, and it was just super messy. So that's my biggest mistake. But eventually, that's a very easy fix, because all you need to do is just move everything over to your library or to Daynode, and it fixes itself. But I remember that was silly. So the reason I'm recreating these, if you don't know, is that these, like, once you've set up set up tags, you need to create a new instance of this tag to kind of get all these automatic stuff up, like the date, the time setup, etc. All right, so this it doesn't seem like a time is a date, so now I know this. This would probably just be an anything or a number. Hi Cortex, really nice to see you here. This is like kind of the opposite of your very concise and beautifully kind of orchestrated videos. This is a massive, big old building of a CRM. Nice to see you. Yeah, there's two Braga banks here. One is me, and one is this, like the real Braga bank. And then I could say, looking great. And now my Braga has done all this. Yeah, and I should probably not have owner as a field, because that shows the email. We should probably have like a user, and then something a bit different. Doesn't matter for now. Yeah, we have looking great. It's in there. Cool. And the idea about review, if you didn't catch Jens Christian's video about that, post and short video about this, is that if you have something like something else, you add review to it once you need someone to have a look at it. So for this, this is now reviewed. So here I've added this, and then once we set up our searches in Day for review, these will pop up for people to kind of look over any specific tasks that I need someone to look at. Let's just delete all this. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I was thinking after seeing the jam session that it would probably be even nicer to have this just as a massive Zoom conversation. So next time I'll probably do that instead. Right, but now we need to construct our views. Let's do this. So we're going to go to our today node. We're going to open the construction site at the side here, just so we can have the plan open. And then we're going to build everything that we need to live here. Maybe we should actually just go to the workflow library here, and then open the plan as a side view, look at the views. All right, first things first, contacts. Let's just steal this. Inside the contacts field, we're just going to find our persons and our companies. We're going to just copy these in one by one. And then we're going to find nodes with tag person. And we're going to have a table, and then we're going to do interesting stuff with this after a while. Same here. Yeah, I think you can, Theo. Let's go and check. Let's actually just to Tana to don't we have, yeah, so these references help us to this lead. Let's add review, and then I'm gonna add myself as the reviewer, and then we'll make a new one. Great shit. And then this is now added. Meh. Yeah, so this is now properly reviewed. Then we take this off because we're happy, but these still live here. So it's not going to show up in the review search that we're going to have in our day, but you can see the review data is still here, including these review entries. Cool, yeah, works fine. Okay, so we now have our companies and our persons, and this is the contacts. It lives here on the side. We're happy with this, super easy. And I need a better way to navigate just from one panel, and the other panel is locked in place. There's probably a way to do this. I don't know how to do this, so if someone from the Tana team can tell me live in chat, I would be exceedingly happy. Just a quick question, by the way. Odin, yeah, Jens Christian's idea. I just think it's very clean because you don't want to. There's one thing to filter them out from views, but once I'm just navigating through my leads list and I see a review tag, I should know that that means I'm looking at this, right? I think it's a very clean setup that you don't like you take the review node away. Let's see. Okay, working fast. So leads. This is just going to live as a leads list for now. And then the sales setup. This is a bit more, yeah, this is a bit more, I'm not going to say complicated, but it is a bit bigger. And just to, I don't neglect the beautiful tabs views. My contact is going to be a tabbed field like this. You can just navigate as we find more entries. In my own Tana, my contacts has a couple more entries here. It has like employees, and this one again has tabs for like different offices, and then persons and companies. Thanks, Patrick. Let's see. So add chart, and the sales pipeline has a couple of different searches. find this one and say this is only for prospects. Didn't have prospects here. Okay. Yeah, so in my own personal setup, I have inside my sales pipeline, I have a prospect tab that just finds the deals that have been set to the deal stage prospect. And inside here, I kind of work on like the size of the deal, can look at this. And once I feel this is ready to move into my pipeline and start working towards the sale, I set the deal stage to whatever is appropriate. Let's say in this case, dialogue established. But in this case, I think I've kind of set it up even simpler so that you have your leads is separate. We can still move it inside the sales deals, and then your sales pipeline basically starts at qualified. So sales pipeline so we need to view this as a need. Now we need to go into deal, configure, go to deal stage. Okay, now we're happy with this. Let's create a new workspace. And then this doesn't have a calendar. So I'm going to go to my today node, and then I'm going to go to my test today node. And now this has a calendar. Okay. I'm not actually quite sure how I rearrange these groups that I'm viewing. So if anyone knows this, I'm just, oh, come on. All right. This isn't even slightly embarrassing. So I just couldn't press the text. I just had to press this blank space. So qualified lead, then we have dialogue is and again. Anyone know what's happening? Yeah, it's config node here. No. Do I need to do it inside the deal tag? This one here? Because here they're in order. Qualified, dialogue, prospect needs. Then views. Views default. I was on the correct configure stage. Okay, I'm here. Configure this field. And once I'm in here, Go to Views. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, for everyone who has to suffer through watching me fumble with this, I do apologize. Let's circle back to this one, and then once I understand it, we can kind of figure it out together. Okay, so we're going to set up some things that we don't want in this pipe. We don't want one. We don't want lost. Don't want those things. All right, first thing I did, configure node on the table, then go to views, then go to each of them, then reorder. Okay, this is a table. Okay, no, I get it, yeah. This is killing me. No, I don't understand what you mean, Odin. This is just going to live as my kind of nightmare scenario of me not being able to put this together. But in any case, I will show you something in a second. I'm just going to add another duplicate of this and then configure this slightly differently. This is going to not have any of this stuff. It's just going to have deal stage 1. And then we're going to call it one. And we're going to view this as a table. And as we then move this deal onto 1, it'll disappear, show up here. We're going to have a contextual column just says, basically tells us, why did we win this deal? And then we can write any notes here about what we actually, why this worked. And then we're going to duplicate this again. And you probably guessed it already. We're going to set this to lost. And now, by the grace of the Tana gods, set deal stage lost. We're going to have a different field here, which is, why did we lose this? Theo, I agree. I'm gonna say the same thing. The value of what I'm doing right now is how I'm fucking it up. Excuse me, fumbling about, and then you guys have the great opportunity to kind of learn from my mistakes. Yeah, contextual fields are fucking amazing. Like this is one of the things I use all the times in my main workflow inside the podcast. So the fact that I have a tag, sorry, a ticker here, a check mark that sends stuff to different tables. So the search here is just for all Aventune that aren't adaptations. That doesn't need to be here. And then here, I just find the same thing, but with this tick box, this check mark box ticked. And then I can do just contextual columns inside here. And this gives me a lot of valuable information that doesn't need to be in the main table. However, once I open up an Aventune, I can find it down here. This is all this kind of contextual stuff from the main table. This is all this contextual stuff from the table I was just at. It's, mwah, I love it. Okay, so we have a sales deals. We'll view this as tabs. So we have the leads, our list of leads, and then we have our sales pipeline that we can't sort because we're too stupid. And then we have our table for won, and then we have a table for lost. Great, so we can make some more leads now. I can make some more deals so that we can play around with the cards and make this beautiful. I like to add pictures to my cards so that we can kind of move them about. I've shown this before. Like I have I'm not going to show you my diary again because it's a bit personal, but let's say my dream home. In the card view, I just set up like display field to be a cover image and some stuff. And then I can kind of have this visual cards view that's really pleasant to look at. Okay, so we have our sales deals set up. It's here, so we can go straight to it. Perfect. We need to go to the next thing. So construction sites, CRM plan. We have sales. Now we need a forecast inside the sales deal pipeline. Okay, so we're actually gonna make a new node outside of this. That's just called sales, and then this is just going to be called pipeline. This is going to be confusing. We'll change the naming scheme in a bit. Just want to indent this, and then here we're going to have a telescope. Call this where's my telescope? Here we go. And our telescope, our quarterly forecast will find deal. Let's just set this up. This is going to find deals with less than estimated close. And then we're going to set this at the end of the quarter because this is going to be the quarterly that we're in right now. So, and then we're going to have greater than estimated close date starts, which is the 1st of October, right? Okay, so this will find deals that are estimated to close. We should probably find ones that haven't been won or no. We need to find the ones that are won already as well. And now we're going to add one thing to deal that we don't have anymore, have yet, which is super important, which is deal value. This needs to be a number. And now we're going to show this here. And let's say this deal, we value this Tana sale deal at 200,000. We're going to make another deal just for the sake of it. This is a new deal. We're going to set it to new deal, set estimated close. I'll actually open it. And then we're going to set the value of this to, okay, cool. Going to go back. Now, we're going to calculate this field. So just right-clicking the deal value, we're going to say what is the sum, what is the average of our deals in the quarterly forecast, excuse me. And then inside here, we're going to set some filters so that we're going to have filter by owners, who owns the deals. So we can see this is now a forecasting for just my sales for this quarter that I am very confident of. But I can also hold shift and find ones that I'm more than mildly confident of. Let's see here, this should help. Now I can set the owner to Braga. 2 Bragas, this is a problem. All right, we now have both of them. So this is now netting at vetting though. Yeah, I'm probably giving away a lot of secrets about my dreams and aspirations right now. Yeah, so now we have a forecasting field, basically inside cells. And do you know what? I'm going to view this as tabs as well. We now have a forecasting for this quarter. We could obviously make the same for the year. We could do a lot of stuff with this. Really useful in sales. Anyways, we have that view. It lives here on the workspace library. I'm going to go back to construction site inside the CRM plan, which is already open down here. Excuse me. You can open it here, and now we need some more views. We need meetings. It's just going to be what the hell has happened? All right, we have a live bug, ladies and gentlemen. There's something living outside nodes here. We have some bugs. The caps locks words is going to change. Not quite sure what you mean. All right, so now we have our meetings here. Could probably add some contextual columns about just notes and stuff like that. We could probably show like the actions here for the meetings. Anyways, nice to have meetings. And then we could set up our to-do list. I'm not going to do this right now. If you're interested, let's it's a basic setup where you have you just make a list of searches, turn them into tabs, and then you can have you filter them by, this would be doing now, to do scheduled, backlog, etc. It's very simple. I don't think there's a good reason to set this up right now because we're already 1.5 hours into this. So activity stream is really cool. This is another of Jens Christian's setup. Oh, excuse me. Find notes with any tag. I may not have the day fields, don't I? No. Fascinating. I can't add a tag to this. Okay, so we don't need to worry about the things that Jens Christian had to worry about with excluding the tags for days, years, etc. So let's remove all of this. So this is just an activity stream. And we can find all the stuff that's basically been done inside the workspace and who did it, which you can probably remove most of the things that will come up here. But it could be last modified time, last modified by, and then which deal it is, I guess. Okay, so we have that, and then last thing is our day. Oh yeah, later than, less than, sorry Theo, I was out for a bit there. Less than, greater than, current user ref, etc. Yes, I've said this already. They need to make them more intuitive because there's no reason why it couldn't be less than, right? There's no reason to shorten it down because it's always hidden away in searches. Cool. Okay, so I was going to set up our day now, but the problem that we have with this is that I don't seem to be able to set my my day notes, my day tags. I don't know why. If someone knows, do give me a shout out. Because we have them here in our own space. So I guess we should just, for now, I'll allow content from. This is not how I would like to have this, but I'll allow it. And then we're going to work here in the day node to configure it. So move this down. And we'll just set up some things. We'll have meetings. We'll have our tasks, yeah. And then we'll have, I'll basically, like, imagine this is inside our day nodes inside the workflow library, which is what I want it to be. Then I would basically set up a distinct node for each of the users that are going to be working here, so that inside the day, if we need to add a lot of tags outside of just like the meetings, which shouldn't be a search bar at all, unless we do meetings. Like this. It doesn't need to be a search, was my point. But then anything that I want to add, any stuff, I would add inside my drawer here, and then other users of the same space can do the same, so we just have it tucked away. But I can still go inside and look at other people's stuff. And then anything private I would just hide in my own workspace. So for review, I'm just going to add a search for that. And then we'll probably add checkbox to review. Maybe not, depends. Okay, so just to go through what we've made, because I'm going to go to my next day and get this up. So breathing in for a second. We've now constructed inside the workflow library a full contacts system. We have a sales pipeline that's connected to tasks, owners, etc. So that if I go in and look at the different deals, any reference that comes up with tasks, etc. comes up, we'll find all the meetings that refer to them. So anytime you go into a deal, you'll find all meetings that have taken place, which means you can see who was at these meetings, which actions were set up in that meeting, etc. We have a pipeline that we can move these deals through. And at the end, we can go and see the forecast for the sales that have been set up and we can even filter these by which salesperson is working through them, which we can export if it's useful to someone. Let's see how this would look. Export plain HTML. That doesn't look good at all. So we need a better export function. We have the meeting set up. Just finds every meeting. Yeah, I've changed this one. We don't need this here, and it has to be a current. The one in my today node needs to be its own meetings search. So let's just copy the text for now. Configure. Take this out. And then we'll add and we'll find all meetings for today inside here. And just to experiment, all right, so if this was set up in the today inside the workflow library, it would probably work a bit better. I'm gonna have to have a couple of looks at this. Okay, going back inside. We have an activity stream, which is basically something we can bring up anywhere. I'll probably put this here as well, so that I can basically look at all the actions that have been taken inside. And then let's say we have a contextual column called comments. And I would just say to the person who did this, this is silly. Odin is being fired, don't you know? Etc. So then these comments will appear probably in my notifications, right? Because I'm being tagged. So the activity stream can be contextualized with this this column, so that we can kind of communicate inside our setup. There's a lot more to be done here. There's a lot more kind of, as I said, I'm struggling with putting this into my today node for the reason that I expanded. I have allowed content from the work, the workflow library. I just don't understand why I can't set up the tags for the library itself. Inside the workflow library, we now have all these tags set up, and basically you could run a smooth sales process inside here with pretty good data flow. There's probably a lot more needed. If you have any suggestions, do let me know, because I'm really curious as to what you would do. But should we view this as a tab as well? Why not? Okay, that's all I wanted to build today, and this is pretty much what I've built inside here, just over time organically, just as I've been playing around Tana. It kind of built itself organically. I'm really fascinated by how easy it is to kind of just play around in here and make structure in a way that you couldn't do in Notion. Because in Notion you'd have to make the structure to then play inside it, which, like, I think we've seen that, like, you don't have to do here. You can just play around and it'll kind of appear. Yeah, that's all I had to kind of go through today. If anyone has any questions, comments, stuff, I'd be happy to answer. See that 60% of the people here didn't have access to Tana as of yet. I really hope that you get to play around soon, because it's a really cool tool. I'm having a lot of fun with it myself. Yeah, this is me, by the way, accessing the workflow library with my other user. So I'm going to just view this as a list again. And then set up this Tana's sale for review. Gonna set the other Braga Bang as a reviewer. That was the wrong Braga Bang. But I don't get notifications. Did I get them here? No. Hi, yes, Christian. I've stolen some of your stuff. Your activity stream is here. Pretty much the way you described it in Slack. And then I've set up the review tabs, as you probably saw right now. But I haven't been able to really use it properly because I had some problems setting up the day, week, month, and year tabs inside the workflow library. They kind of have to stay inside my workspace. I don't know why, but in any case, it's a really cool system. I'm really liking it. So let's, yeah. I know you're not looking at my screen right now, are you? Santi, great question. I've asked for kind of a scrambler so that you can hide all your private stuff while you're playing around. Yes, sorry, yes, Giselle. This is the activity stream that I was talking about, stolen wholesale from you. And this is the review page. Yeah, hiding it is painstaking. So what I've done here is I've begged, stolen, and borrowed. So I have a secondary account made for demonstrations. But like all my other videos have been made inside my main account, and it was just me hiding every single diary entry and making sure that nothing I wanted to hide came up inside the video. Yeah. Right. Should we just... I'm just playing around with my new Stream Deck. I set this up so that I could swap between scenes and everything. But I think we're going to say that is the end of the stream for now. If you have any questions or comments, looking forward to hearing them and reading them later. But I'm going to go to bed. So have a nice evening wherever you are, or whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world, and speak soon. Bye.